Apostle Peter, Apostle James, Apostle Paul appeared in the greatest prayer meeting that has held on earth and slept. They slept. Jesus came back and tapped them and said, help me in prayer. They woke up, slept again. He now came the third time and looked at them. The Bible said they were so taken over with sleep. He now looked at them and said, sleep. Keep sleeping. It must mean that Jesus is operating from a different plane from the apostles that were there with him. So if they experienced and had what he had, that means that they themselves can also do what he did. As the scripture revealed in the book of Acts chapter 6 verse 4. When the church began to grow, the Bible said that there was dispute, administrative issues, and it has to be catered for. But Peter came in verse 4 and said, we cannot give ourselves too much to administrative issues. It will rob off of heart, of time, of commitment to deal with, to face the real matter. He said, we ourselves. But we will give ourselves continually to prayer and to ministry of the word. Let's find other people to be doing other things. Let's focus on prayer and the word. Because you know why? If there is a gap in spiritual supply that should come from the ministry of prayer and the word, every other thing that you are doing will soon feel it. Even the administration, everything, even the people, the gap will soon show. He said, let's give ourselves. Let's find other people to do it. Now, the reason why I'm quoting here is, this is the same man that Jesus invited to the greatest prayer meeting on earth, and he slept. At what point, what happened to Peter? I want to know. That thing need to happen to you. What happened to Peter that they invited you? If he had delivered on that prayer, maybe when the scripture was being written about that prayer meeting, book of Hebrews chapter 5 verse 7, they didn't mention the three of them. But maybe if they had delivered, their name would have been there. But they slept, and it's not their fault. You know why? There is a spirit that helps a man to pray. Prayer doesn't originate with man. Real prayer is not your job. It is when you keep, and thank God for speaking in tongues. You keep speaking in tongues. Sometimes you did not put any prayer point to it. As you keep ascending, once you touch the throne in heaven, they will tell you your prayer point. You come down from that location with that prayer, and the Spirit of God will energize you to keep praying till that prayer becomes a reality. Are you with me now? It is 100% certain that the prayer that is born of the Spirit, that the answer must come. Several times we engage our prayer and expect God to do things. I don't know, he may or may not, but that's not really his business. And I want to explain to you how God registers in our heart his prayer points. He registers it as burdens. He registers it as burdens. I will just read a scripture and you keep it in your heart. Then I will keep explaining. Psalms chapter 80 verse 18. Look at this scripture. It says, so we will not go back from thee. He said, quicken us, and we will call upon thy name. That means the capacity to really call upon the name of the Lord is dependent on quickening. Thank you, sir. Are you getting the point? And there is no ministration of quickenings until Jesus rose from the dead. It is resurrection that warranted the possibilities of quickenings. You see, it is because of resurrection that you can ascend from the plane of the spirit, that any plane of the spirit that is in your heart, you keep ascending. You keep ascending in the spirit, because there is a height above all heights where Jesus is sitting. This is organic. In positional sense, you are there. But you notice, That sometimes you wake up, maybe in the morning itself, morning devotion, you wake up to pray. Some of us born in Christian homes, sometimes I used to wonder why my father used to wake me up those days. Somebody is tired, 6 a.m. And that time, now, that's when sleep is the sweetest. 5 a.m. sleep, they sweet so much. That's when you are turning, steering. And somebody will, some of you are born in the city, but me, somebody will flash you touch. And say, wake up. Some of the time, the first 3 songs we are singing, I don't even know what we are singing. Yeah, Weaken us. We prayed for 10 years without weakening. And that is why we remain spiritual babes. Listen to me. It is the prayer that you prayed from quickening that registers in heaven. What people don't know is that the primary purpose of prayer is not to solve your need. It is to register a communication channel between you and the heavenlies. You know why? The intention of God is to inhabit and govern the physical realm based on the men that you. If God feels you, he will dominate to the measure that you have trapped heavenlies. Because if you study the scripture, you will find out that the heavens actually rule. No matter what happens on this earth, the heavens will rule. But the government will be on the shoulders of some. Who are sons? The men that has walked the path of conformation into the image. How does it take a man to get into the image? The scripture said, my little children, of whom I travail in bed again, till. It means that he has labored before over them. But he came back again and found out that they have not become yet. Yeah, you are not doing bad, but I need to labor again. He said, I travail in bed one more time, until Christ is formed. Because the real government, the real authority, the real dominion that comes from heaven over the earth is dependent on sons that has possessed Christ as their reality. But the distance from heaven to your heart will require a quickening. So except a man is quickened to the point where as you pray, that's what happens to me. If I pray, as I pray, I notice that it looks as if I start expanding in the spirit. It took me time. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But God began to explain to me. When the Bible said in the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 26, that likewise the Spirit will help our infirmities.